hope lives always. To continue where we left off yesterday, at this point in my life, I realized that I could only change me. And in order to do so, I thought I needed to be more aware of if I believed I should love other people, then that should be put in my face, that I should put action to that belief. So I had this sign in my room that said the quote from Jesus, that a new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another, and they will know that you are my disciple out of your love for one another. And I shared yesterday that for the first 10 yards or so past my door, it worked. And I want to share with you a little bit about what that meant to me. So if I encountered someone as I was walking past my door, I saw them, at least for that first 10 yards, through the lens of that poster I wrote, that I looked at every day, that I woke up to and went to bed seeing. And when I saw that person, immediately I saw someone that I needed to care for, someone that I needed to show and express my love for. It makes you more kind, more accommodating. Someone got in my way in that first 10 yards. It made me less apt to be upset about that because I wanted to love that person first. But I realized that 10-yard radius was not wide enough. I say 10 yards because I recognized that later on in my day, when I'm far away from that poster, I would forget it was there. And when I would interact with other people, I wasn't at first thinking, how do I need to show my love and care for that person? I just saw them the same old way that I had before. And so I needed an extension of the words that lied on that poster in my room. And I made it simpler and changed it to love others. And the reason for that was if somebody else saw it, I wanted it to be a universal message, a message that maybe they could see really quickly and might matter to them too. Who knows? I couldn't change other people, but maybe for a fleeting moment, maybe some part of that hope inside of me thought that maybe it could matter for someone else too. But it wasn't really for them, it was for me. So I changed it to love others. What I really thought was the key part of what Jesus was calling me to do. And I made 3 signs. And I put one down on the way to my first class in the morning. I put one a little ways back on a wall that had a bunch of other posters for different things going on campus. And I put one on a stairwell in my dorm. Now, I wasn't brave enough, courageous enough to put these kind of signs up during the day. I felt a little awkward about A, my need for them, and B, what am I going to say to somebody who sees me putting up a sign that says love others on bright yellow paper on a wall. And so late in the night, I hung these up with tape on these 3 spots. And as I'm putting up the very last one in that stairwell, walking down from my dorm to the rest of the campus, somebody else, I hear them coming. And I try to get real close to my sign because I'm feeling a little awkward about the fact that I'm doing this. I still don't really know why this is what I'm being led to do. And I hear this person coming and I'm thinking, I'm not looking at them, I'm thinking maybe they'll keep walking and they won't notice. Or maybe they'll think I'm posting a flyer for some event going on campus. And they don't. And they stop and they look at me and they say, what are you doing? Like, what are you putting on the wall? I didn't say anything. I didn't really know what to say. I didn't say, well, my teacher said, and then that made me think, and then I wanted to do this, and I'm going to change the world by finding something wrong. And, all of these things in my head. All I did was stand there and turn the sign around so that she could see what was written there. And for a moment, we stood there in silence in the stairwell. Me looking at her and kind of looking at the ground, feeling a little strange that I'm putting up these signs. And her staring at the sign until her eyes sort of welled up, like she was going to cry. And she looks up at me and she says, "Thank you. Thank you for putting that up." I didn't know this person. And she walked back to her room. I walked back to mine. And I looked over at the stack of yellow paper that I had to get so that I could print just a few of these. And I looked at my printer, and I had this growing, overwhelming urge to do more. That thank you did something to me. And I think that's what hope does. Hope begins in a place sometimes where we are uncertain. When we're uncertain of ourselves and don't know what we're going to do, where we feel a little awkward about our holding on to hope. And then all it takes is something small to erupt into something way bigger than we thought. And that's what happened. And that's where I will continue tomorrow. So my hope for us today, my hope today is that something around your day, something's going to happen where someone says something to you, something small, that inspires you to seek out and to share love and hope in a way that was larger than you initially thought possible. Because that's how hope works. Because hope lives always.